Hey guys, this is Mission Quest Stage 3 in DFFOO Global. This stage is more or less a rerun of Fusoya's stage, and the mission requires you to have 2 staff and 1 gun, with I guess Fusoya being a natural choice for this stage. That being said, there's actually many options, and this stage is actually relatively easy because the bosses don't really have a lot of HP. There's really only 2 mechanics on this stage that you need to be aware of. The first and the more important one is during 3 HP thresholds of the fight, the bosses will warp their turns to the front and attempt to instantly kill you. And the way to get around that is to make sure that the bosses are having some sort of disable or paralyze when they warp their turns so that they can't let off their instant kill attack. This turn warp happens at 89%, 59% and 29% of the stage, and if you are inside BT or summon mode, they will not be able to turn warp, but will do so the moment you exit BT or summon mode. So in essence, you need to get some sort of disables or paralyzes ready. Beyond Fusoya, another good choice would also be Toto with her LD. The approach that I'm taking here though is I'm using Toto LD call to land 1 turn paralysis, and then I'm using Krile LD trap to land the second paralysis, after which I just completely ignore the third paralysis at 29% by killing them in 1 BT mode. Like I said, the bosses don't really have a lot of HP, and here I'm just sort of entering into either Laguna or Garnet's BT mode. Either one actually should work, but I haven't used Laguna for a long time, so I just went with Laguna BT mode. And one other thing I guess to note on why I'm using Laguna is mainly because I don't really have a lot of built gun units. I sort of skipped Baltier, so if you do have Baltier, he's a very natural choice for the gun user for this stage, and he can probably single-handedly just go force attack and BT mode and probably end the stage right there. So if you have Baltier, use him here. That would be my recommendation. The idea of using the Toto LD call and Krile LD is that at 89%, assuming you've completed your setup, when they warp their turns, they'll be disabled by the Toto call, and then because they've warped their turns, they will trigger Krile's trap and will get another paralysis to follow, and that will work to protect you for the 59% warp. Krile also doubles as the force gauge charger here, so I just sort of use her and spam Ray of Hope until you get sort of like a full force gauge. And then after that, once she has done that, you can use the Lunafreya LD call to give her room to use her LD, and then you can just swap her out for your friend support. The friend support of choice that I would recommend here is Aerith, because Aerith have access to the gold frame buff from her BT to handle the second mechanic of this fight, which is at certain thresholds of the fight, the bosses will use Drain Slash to gravity shave your HP down to 10% of your current HP. Now this mechanic isn't too bad for this mission because in Mission Quest, they don't really track HP loss. There's no requirement for HP loss in the missions, so even if you take 90% of your damage, you'll likely still be able to get a perfect score. That being said, Aerith Friend support is a very easy way to get around that. Just pop her BT, she'll get the 4 turn gold frame buff, and that buff will completely mitigate the damage from Drain Slash. Alternatively also, if your BT user such as Garnet has a burst healing capability, all you can do is just go into BT mode and pop the burst healing somewhere near the end to top up your HP before ending the fight. Really, there's a lot of ways and options to go around this stage. The more important one would be the first mechanic that I mentioned, which is landing some sort of paralysis or confusion or disable on the bosses so that they can't use their instant KO attack on you. If you've got that down, then the rest of the fight is pretty straightforward. On Laguna's turn here, as you can see, I used the Rain's LD call just sort of to prepare for his BT mode. On hindsight, you don't really need it. If you have powerhouses such as Garnet or Aerith, the Rain's LD call is sort of overkill because the bosses actually died midway through Laguna's BT mode. And this is a Laguna with no ultimate weapon to boot. I don't have a gun ultimate weapon, so Rain's Call is really optional. If you feel you need the extra damage, then by all means. If not, you can also give Laguna another Paralysis Call just as a safety backup as well. Anyway, I'm back on Garnet's turn, and this is where I go into her force time. Really, anyone's force time works because you have an Aerith Friend support. Aerith's echoes will drastically boost your force gauge bonus, and that boost is more than enough for you to really kill the bosses in 1 BT mode. So you don't really have to use Garnet, I guess you can just use anyone else. Or like I said earlier, if you have Baltier, his force time is probably good enough as well. Especially since Baltier's FR is instant turn, so you could change the FR into BT mode. Anyone works because with Aerith, she'll give you 200% plus force gauge bonus all by herself. So it doesn't matter what your main force conditionals are. Sorry, had to briefly pause the fight due to some real life distractions. This is the second mechanic I was referring to, where the bosses use Drain Slash, but Aerith still has a gold frame buff, so you'll be taking 0 damage. And this is where the second paralysis, this is the paralysis from Krile's LD trap, kicks in. So at this point here, I am unprotected for the 29% turn warp and instant KO, so I have to kill them in BT or summon mode. But really they are quite low here that I could just enter the Garnet's BT mode and likely kill them as well. Alright, it's time for the man with the machine gun. So bosses are essentially dead here. What you want to do actually assuming bosses are still alive, is go LD, because LD grants a free skill use before using up his S1, and that way you can use one skill per every action in BT mode. But I decided just, you know, to make the run go faster, just spam HP plus until BT mode is over. So, stage 3 done. As always, I hope the video has been helpful, and if you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment and subscribe, it really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next mission quest. Bye!